Once again, I had the thing plugged in. I gotta stop doing that. The speaker that I showed you, the 808 speaker. I apologize for that. Hold on. Thank you very much. I would have kept going. Let's try click, click, take two. I was supposed to be off today or so, or not off today. I was supposed to be working today or so I thought. Work 3, off for 2. Work 2, off for 2. I was off for 2 after 2. And I go in, the new schedule was not posted. They had it all the way to Saturday, So I go to the back, and co-workers looking kind of confused because they're from a different group. They're from group B. I'm in group D, and he's looking at me confused. So I approach the supervisor. He goes, "You can go home." I couldn't get to my car quick enough. A few things to share, but I want to start with this. Don't ask me why. I'm just going to go ahead and listen. I'm going to listen to what I feel is on my heart. Sorry, just one second. And I don't want to be all over the place. I want to be a little bit more precise. I want to go over to Genesis and chapter 45. Chapter 45. And the statement that came to me was punishment to perseverance. From punishment to perseverance. And here we have Joseph. He's about to reveal himself. I'm sorry, this thing is very distracting. It's distracting me. Let's put it over here. Yes, from punishment to perseverance. So Joseph, as you all know, his brothers were jealous of him. He was favored by his daddy. Daddy made him a coat of many colors, baby boy, that kind of thing. And his brothers were very jealous. So they threw him into a pit. And they says, well, why don't we, they were arguing whether or not to kill him or not. But the one brother stood and said, no, we can't do that. He goes, hey, here come these people. They're going into Egypt. We'll sell him. So they did, and so on and so forth. So you come to the crescendo of this story where Joseph, there's a famine in the land. They're needing food. They go to get the food. They end up having to go to their brother who was older now, and they didn't recognize him, but he's about to reveal himself to his brothers and explain the real reason behind this whole situation. Then Joseph could not refrain or control himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. He wept aloud. Can you imagine all the pain that he was holding within himself, thinking about the whole situation? And when I see wept aloud, it's kind of like everything that he had been silently holding back in the back of his mind came forward and out of his mouth by how do I put that? By how loudly he cried. And all the emotion came out through that cry. All that pain came out through that cry. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved or distressed, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For God did send me before you to preserve life. It was a real reason why. Sometimes things are so difficult. God is in the mix. It's so painful, but there's something being done for the greater good, for your temporary pain. There's a greater good for that pain, you see. For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years, 5 years in the which there shall neither be earing or plowing nor harvest. Verse 7. Boo-boo, stop. Sorry. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God. And he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt. Haste ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, Thus saith thy son Joseph, God hath made me lord over all Egypt. Come down unto me, and tarry not. From punishment to perseverance. Now that's what came to me, if you will. I want to go over now to Psalm number 10. Psalm number 10. Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesses the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing, deceit, and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places does he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He crouches and humbles himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He has said in his heart, God has forgotten. He hides his face, he will never see it. Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. Wherefore does the wicked contemn God? He has said in his heart, thou wilt not require it, or call me to account. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite, to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. The Lord is king forever. Again, the Lord is king forever and ever. The heathen has heard the desire of the humble. Oh, yes, he has. Thou wilt prepare their hearts. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress. And I want to go over to one last scripture, over to Mark. I cannot listen to what's trying to oppose me in my mind. I'm telling you, I cannot listen to it. I'm going to keep going. Because whether now or a week from now, maybe somebody will need this. Mark 4, verse 34. But without a parable spake he not unto them. And when they were alone, he expounded all things to his disciples. And the same day, when the even was come, he saith unto them, Let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him even as he was in the ship. And there were also with him other little ships. And then there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep, asleep on a pillow. And they awake him, and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he arose, and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. Again, peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are ye so fearful? How is it that ye have no faith? And I have to ask myself that question over and over again. Why am I fearful? And how is it that I have no faith? And they feared exceedingly, and said one to another, What manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? I want you to be encouraged today. Oh, yes, I do. I found a channel today that I found to be kind of an uplifting channel. It just tells, it says, here are some of the titles. 8 lonely people who were helped by strangers. 10 kids whose wishes left Santa in tears. And the other title, 10 little kid friendships that will restore your faith in humanity. The channel is entitled HRT, altogether those 3 letters, HRT Knowable, Knowable. I found it to be quite positive, and had old grandma in tears listening to some of the stories of people helping one another in different situations, just different situations. You know, I love positive channels. If I'm feeling a certain set way, it's kind of neat to see there's examples of people that couldn't feed themselves, and of a cashier coming around and helping a person to eat their meal. That kind of thing. I love channels like that. Hi, Nyla. Hi, Raisin Love. She is Lawanda. Love Cats. Disgruntled Gardener. Jan Wright. Joyful Gigi. Love Cats. Are y'all sick of looking at my wrinkled face right about now? I came in and the tree, I told you the tree up front has been cut down. And so my neighbors were out, and I said, why did they cut down that tree? And they said it was because of the sewer lines. And there's a tree across the way that's been marked. I said, you see that one over there? They're going to cut that one down as well. I'm like, wow. And so they had a table there, like they had a garage sale. I said, y'all having a garage sale? Oh, we had one. I said, let me come over. So I go over there and I have a look. I say, hey, I said, I get paid on Friday. I go, if I like some items, can you hold them to the side? Sure, we can hold them to the side for you. And then I got a son came over and said, hey, mom says that if you want, you can take those items now. I said, well, you know where I live. So yeah, they're moving. They're moving to California. I find that kind of ironic. My family's in California. My neighbors are moving to California. Do you think I should be going to California? Yeah. So I will show you these items. They're just very few. I said, well, don't count me out. I may come back for a few others. Let me pull this up. I happen to like country things. And this is Mr. Butter Churn. No, I don't think I'm going to be out front churning butter anytime soon, but I really like this thing. It's just real country looking, and it's very sparse in here. And I just wanted to have kind of a homey feel, an old-fashioned country homey feel to the place. So I picked this up. I kind of really like that thing. You have the duckies in the front. And I thought that was really cute. That's item number one. And remember I had told you that in the past I collected cows, and a lot of my cows broke. She had this display of all these different cows. There's a, I don't know, that's a piggy. There's a piggy mixed in. You have that one. These are kind of jammed in there. And oh, she's so cute. Just different cows. You can kind of see it's the same theme. Different little moo-moos in this display. I think what I'm going to have to do is, oh, got another piggy. I guess I got a couple of piggies to go with the cups. I'm going to have to separate them and just put all the cows on this display. Let me pull them out. Here you have just a little the thing where you can hang it. You have like a little box display. And I don't think I can fit them all on there. I may have to put them in and put a couple on top. There's the little wooden display. And then just various ones. So she's got piggies mixed in. Yeah, she's got, I guess now I'm gonna have to find them a brick house so the big bad wolf doesn't get them. Let me put these little piggies over there. They're so cute. And then we have the other moo-moos. I think they're so cute. We have one with a bell on it. I do have one that looks like this somewhere, but I thought they were so cute. And so Grandma had to have them. I don't know if I'm going to go, you know, hog wild, pardon the pun, haha. So yeah, we even have the tag on this. Collectible treasures. Collectible treasures, it says. So let's see. See what we can do here. I don't know exactly where to put them all. I may have to have, like I say, I may have to have one be on top, but I thought that was really cute. Let me just set that to the side. And then I needed, if I can get it over here, I needed a blender. This thing is heavy. So I went and picked this up. You know, I got a, when I picked up that chair for my desk, that chair that I showed you that I got for $1, I got a, I I can't think of what you call that. It's not a blender. It's the other thing that chops stuff up. I can't think of what you call that thing. But I got that for $1, believe it or not. So now I've got the blender. I've got the other thing. Hi, Melvin Johnson. Hello. How are you doing today? I like them. Hello, Mr. Melvin. And I like this because of what it said. Every good day begins with a little love. And I just like that. I just like what it said. I can't remember who that character is. I remember that from when I was a little kid. Remember that character right there? So I thought that was kind of cute. Oh, Ziggy. There it is on the back. It's Ziggy. Very cool. I don't know. I just think that I feel like my little home doesn't quite feel like a home, and I kind of want to add some personal touches. And the last but not least item for $3. It's I guess you call this a shadow box. Very country looking, and I thought it was really, really cute. Nothing on the back. Here's where you hang. But I like the items. I'm getting a reflection. Oh, that way might be better for you. But I thought that was so cute. You can see the items in there. And hi Radio Florida, and Tonya D. Tonja, hi. Ellen MC, hi. Yeah, I do too. So I kind of want to, figure out what I want to do here, I'm trying to decide if I want to, like the couches, I'll bring the pillow. Y'all know what the, yeah, but you know what I was thinking? It's going to sound kind of silly. I was thinking to replicate the small. Y'all know I like tiny items like this. I was thinking to replicate this, but bigger. Like in the back there, putting together a bench and then getting each item, but larger. You know what I mean? I kind of like doing things like that. I don't even know why I'm so fascinated with miniature versions of larger items. It's kind of weird about me. But yeah, somebody put this together quite well. Even if you look at the flowers, if I can tilt it just right, you can look at the details of the flowers even. I find that very interesting. It's very detailed. So anyway, she says, hey, he says, Mom said, come get the items. And she says, come in. I'm like, no, that's okay. Because, no, you can come in. I said, I don't want to violate your privacy. She says, no, come in. Never been in there. They keep a, mommy, you can tell mommy's the decorator in there. Grandma's the decorator in there. Beautiful. Everything is kind of country related and just beautiful in their home. The same size as this place. It's like a duplicate of my place, except I think there's an extra bedroom, of course, for the son. So yeah, she says, we're moving. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, we're leaving in February. And then I said, are you okay with that? She goes that she's going to live with her granddaughter, both of them. And I didn't ask any questions about why, and he just says, we can't stay here like that. We can't stay here. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know quite what's happening, but I just wanted to come in. Sorry, that was me. I just wanted to come in. I'm trying not to stay 5,000 hours, but it's going to sound kind of goofy. I walk up to the supervisor and he's looking at the list. He's looking for my name. He goes, no, you're not here today. You can go home, right? The first thing I thought about was you all and coming here. I don't know. That's what I thought. I'll say, well, you don't have a life. I guess I don't. And yeah. Give me a second. But yeah, I found that kind of weird. It's a long way off the beginning. I know. It's just I guess what they figure in their minds, maybe they're thinking like, look, I know the items I don't want to take with me. It's the warm weather now. So maybe that's why, they just want to kind of get rid of some items that maybe were kind of, get a little extra money, that kind of thing. I don't know, but she's looking at me real serious. So I mean, I guess I believe what they're saying. He's like, we can't stay here. I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry to repeat myself, but that's exactly the exchange that I had. But yeah, here I am. I have to get myself mentally ready to go into that place, And it's like I had 30 more minutes to sort of lay there, and I just jumped out of the bed and got showered early and left early, and I had all my stuff lined up, all the things that I have to wear. I had everything lined up and everything, and I'm kind of hyped. And I'm kind of just thinking about, oh, I'm going to be hot, I'm going to be sweaty, I'm going to be smelly. You know how you get your mind psyched and ready, and then you go in and everything's all discombobulated. And I got back in the vehicle because I woke up feeling a certain set way. I said to myself, God is not the author of confusion. He's not the author of confusion, But yeah, I don't have much else to talk about, so I'll just stay in just for a little bit. And I better... Hi, Stephanie Nicole. Hi, Dollar Princess. Hi, I hope you're doing okay, Dollar Princess. Thank you, Disgruntled Gardener. I have friends right there. I mean, if I really need to talk to somebody, I can go over to Tim's and I can sit down with his dad, you might as well say he's 80. He's just about to turn 80. And he's if you think I'm a matter-of-fact person, if you think the way I described my mama, she was a matter-of-fact person, oh, this man is very matter-of-fact. And he's constantly telling me, that I worry too much about things. He goes, why do you worry so much? He goes, why do you worry about things that you think are going to happen? That they're probably not going to happen. You need to just, just calm down. I can't, I know that I can't. Geez, I got to be careful. I know that I can't make everything better for people, if you're understanding me. I guess I gotta get myself out of that mode, But yeah, I kind of am trying to decide, like, this chair is this color, and I'm thinking because of the pattern, that's what I was reaching for. I'll just get the pillow. You have the pattern like this for that love seat there, and then this is a brown, and so I'm debating whether or not to get a slip cover kind of the same color as this and have it just be like that, or since this is plain and this is patterned, it kind of goes, I'm trying to put it all together somehow, I feel like it's just a place where I come and to lay my head, and I want to feel more at home. But I got to tell you, something's been gnawing at me. I told you I feel like I'm going to move one more time. And I don't know. I have to be very careful to the voice that I'm listening to make sure that it is the Father's voice that I'm having these feelings about. I think that I'm trying to figure myself out, let's just say. I'm trying to figure myself out. I'm here. I'm going to make you my Dr. Phyllis's and Dr. Phil's, okay? I'm here. I have this job. I have this place, which the Lord so graciously, you all know that God gave me this place for now, to be here, right? And I think what's happening is I'm thinking about my grandchildren, you know. But like when my son was little and I was with Al and we were a mini tiny family, right? And my mother was in Connecticut and I was in upstate New York. You know, here I am with my family, my family, and she's far away. There's no way, you know what I mean? I have to accept that. I think that's what I'm having a problem with. I felt like even though it was an uncomfortable situation with them being here, I just worry. I try not to, but my heart is extended in that direction, and I just want to know that they're being treated well. I know that they are. You know, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of cousins and people there that do love them, you know. And I want to go in December. It depends on the weather and see my new grandchild. If that's not possible because of the weather, I'll have to wait. And then the other thought about that is, will I be welcome? I'm not talking about staying the night over there. I'll get an El Cheapo hotel, but will I be allowed to? You know what I mean? It's because, you know, they're living with the other grandma, so I have those concerns. Anyway, that's it. Thank you, Dr. Phils and Dr. Phyllis, for listening to that. And the third thing to throw into the works is I miss being down south. So those are the thoughts that are rolling in my head. I think I have to calm down and get settled and be settled, but something within me is not. And maybe y'all can explain what that is. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you, Love Cats. Yeah, the people here. I suppose if I extend myself a little bit, but I was just used to the friendliness of the South. And it's way different here. And I just can't, it's been almost 2 years now, and I can't wrap my head around these people, you know. But I'm going to lean on the Lord pretty hard with this. You hear me? I'm going to lean pretty hard on him to give me. There's a fly in here that I just want to. Matter of fact, there's probably one or two sitting in my car right now that irritate the bejeebers out of me as I'm driving. I hate that. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been quietly dealing with in my head. You know, you know, when I would have time off when I was in Carolina, you know, I could just go out and do my walk and talks and stuff like this. It's just different here. And I don't want to repeat myself. Yeah. I don't want to seem like a poo-poo or a big baby, you know. So anyways, I getting back to the channel, I thought that was pretty neat. There's another channel. It was just a horrible thing, not the channel, but you know how I have the Dodo DODO where you can they rescue animals and stuff like that. I can't recall the name of the guy, but I ran into another channel where they rescue animals. And this dog, according to the story, was wanting to be friendly and play. And these savage, evil people, I mean evil, they cut this dog. They cut like part of his face, like from here, like this, like at an angle. And I'm looking at it, and I cried through the whole video, but then they show him well and recovered. But I don't understand the mentality. I don't mean to talk about something awful, but on the good end, of course, the dog was rescued, and they had 2 or 3 videos about it, and they showed the dog being reunited with its owners, you know, made it through. and just the various rescues of different animals, you know. And I don't understand if you don't like animals and you're cruel like that. I'm not wanting to hang around you. I'm telling you, because if you'll treat an animal like that, how are you going to treat a human being? You know. But yeah, it was very, very, very. This is a very compassionate man. He's very compassionate. Okay, what do I? Okay, J. Hi, J. G or Jai Wu. It says, no, can you please say what's different about living where you're at instead of Carolina? I was consider moving to Oregon, but I need to know if that's not such a good idea. Yes, yes, Miss Lawanda, something goes through me as well. Miss Lawanda says something goes through me when I see animals. I can't fathom anyone sitting there trying to kick my cat. If my cat managed to slip through that door and a grown adult was trying to kick at my cat, I would be on a YouTube video. I would be an idiot on a YouTube video because I'd be going, oh, no, no, what you do to my cat, I'm gonna do to you. I gotta try to hold myself back and think about what he wants me to do. But no, no. I think it's talking about the difference between Oregon and Carolina. In Carolina, I found the people to be friendlier. I found the people to be, I've just been exposed to different people. I find people here, now this is just my opinion, here in this little town. Now, Portland is a bigger city, and there may be quite a difference, okay? And I just happen to be in this little town. But I find people to be kind of cold. And in Carolina, for instance, you could go into a supermarket and strike up a conversation. I've said this before, with a complete stranger, and almost be friends by the time you're about to cash out. You actually end up you could stop and have a conversation about the Lord, and they'll be telling you things. I remember one time, here's an example. I was in the parking lot where the Food Lion and the Ross, was it Ross? I think it was Ross. I used to go there a lot. Y'all remember I used to just kind of cross the street and go over there. And so this man was praying for this other man, and his mother was next to him. And so I stood there, and I recognized what was happening. Just out loud, I pray in the name of Jesus, just out loud. So I looked over, I got out of my car, and I just put my hands in their direction. Y'all feeling me? I put my hands in their directions in agreement. And then he got done and he turned over to me and pointed at me. He says, and he goes, and sister, those people that are giving you a hard time on your job, God's going to take care of each and every one of those people. You know this is from God. You know it's true. And I was almost floored. He was exactly right. I've been going through a few things on that job. And he read my mail. I call it reading someone's mail, a complete stranger that you don't know. This is what I'm used to. This is what I'm used to. I'm used to just the kind of love, that kind of love, And, here you just go to work, you come home, I leave work on Friday when I know I'm going to get paid. Now I get off at 4:00 in the morning, so I have to wait for my days off. But it was just different. And maybe because I don't know how to describe myself to you, maybe you all can probably describe me to me better in listening to me and how I relate to you and how I talk. But I'm just kind of I feel like I'm kind of a loving person, and I just like to extend love and help people. And here it's kind of like the few people that I've run into, it's kind of cold. Every man for himself. Pockets of people, little bits of I want to say friendliness, but I want to say kind of conservative friendliness. Kind of I'll extend myself just so, and then I just pull back like that. LB, I think the climate affects people in Oregon. I lived there a while. It can be very gray, rainy, and kind of gloomy. I think it depends on who you know, if you have family here, and if you have friends here. And maybe it's just going to take time for me to develop that. What sense to us might not make sense to God. I have never, just a moment. I've never been to North Carolina, but I had a dream from God to move from Cali to North Carolina. It's a very long story behind this. Tonya D., you live here in Oregon? Are you? Well, I'm not, you're not going to put your business out there and say exactly where you are. But yeah, so I've got to be very, very careful because I just finally got everything settled and I'm finally by myself. And so, I got to be very careful I got to pray, like you say, stand still and discern very carefully. Because it would take a lot to get me out of here and back down south. And I don't want to have to go through all that rigmarole again. The southern coast of Oregon. Hi, Chrissy. So I have to be very careful. Because, here I'm getting myself all hyped up and mentally ready for work. And here I am just sitting here relaxing. Here I am just sitting here trying to figure things out, and AdSense is about to come through and give me a payment, And yeah. So I have to really, really trust him even more. I think that the Father is trying to get me to let go of the reins completely and trust. I can't rely on I got to really, 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 really trust him. I thanked him in advance before I got in here that I would be in here. So my faith has got to be built up. I've got to be stronger in faith, not just with lip service and with some of my actions, but I really deep within the crevices of my soul, if you will, I have to trust him 100%. Not kind of like, okay, I trust you 87.5%. But the little piece of me in the human is going to doubt and try to do this myself. When you're trying to do things on your own and you're not trusting, it's like pushing a very heavy horse. I've often said that if it's from the Heavenly Father, things sort of are smooth. One thing leads to the other thing, and everything just sort of gently falls into place. And when you're trying to do it yourself, it's kind of, you're just trying to push it, So I'm yearning maybe for the friendliness and people being more God-fearing. I miss that. That's what I miss. There you go, emotions. Exactly, Ellen. True, and Love Cat says, true, we can't let our emotions rule, but trust God 100%. Exactly. And that's a scary thing. You feel like you're dangling, right? He's got you. And maybe he has you by under your arms. He's just sort of holding you like this, and you're kind of dangling. Yes, you're dangling, but who's holding you? He's holding you, but your little footies are dangling. You see. Why not just rest there a while and enjoy life by yourself? Exactly. I don't know. It's so weird. I'm here by myself, and I felt like I was not alone, even though I was alone when I was in Carolina. Here, I feel really alone. It's very strange that there's like this pocket of coldness I can't quite grasp or understand. I'm going to be quiet about this now. I need to stop. Y'all can't reach through the camera and go, oh, there, you poor little thing. Yeah. What do you think about it all, Boo? Boo Boo says, look, I just landed here. You had me in a carrier. I traveled across the country for 2,000 miles. You went in and cleaned the carrier out and changed the water and fed me. But I'm not getting back in that carrier again. You better hop on a plane, lady. You better sell all your stuff and just get on a plane. I'm not going through that again. Oh, my gosh. Culturally, it's very, okay, LB. Culturally, it's very different in that area compared to the Southland. You aren't imagining it. I live in Atlanta now. It's very different than Oregon. Yeah, I'm sitting here telling you all these things, and I feel sometimes like a complete idiot because I finally got in here, and here I am. I don't know. Oh, I feel kind of lonely. Isn't that ridiculous? Goodness gracious, the father must be up there crossing his arm, tapping his foot like, lady, come on. You're sitting there crying and begging and pleading. Thank you so very much, honey. You did not have to do that. Thank you so very, very much. I'm very grateful to you, honey. But yeah. Thank you for wisdom and teaching. I am listening, and it's bringing me closer to God. God bless you. Miss Chrissy, God bless you too. God bless you too. I'm just pouring. Yeah, I didn't even know in my mini fridge. I thought I was out of these things. And I got the zero. I'll tell you, I like the grape. So far, the orange and the grape flavor ones, I like the best, I think. But I'm feeling so naughty, like I really want a piece of cheesecake or something like that, but I have to behave myself. I'm just trying to, just a little bit, just trying to reduce that belly a little bit so I feel comfortable in my clothes. We all know our limitations. We all have the same pants that we wear, the same skirt that we wear, or something like that. And all of a sudden it starts to feel kind of a little bit snug, and you feel like it's digging into the belly. I mean, we all got, not all of us, but you got the love handles and the belly hanging there, and you start to feel kind of feel like, like you're being clamped around the waist. So I'm just trying to pull back a little bit and get that down, maybe about 2 pounds. No big drama here, honey. I like my ice cream and my sweets and stuff like that, but I feel like I got to get myself under better control. And so it's talking about work here. These people have got me totally confused. I thought it was work 3 days, have 2 off. Work 2 days, have 3 off. And this lady saying, oh, it's the weekend. You get 3 days. And I'm just like looking at her. And then it's like, and the boss says, oh yeah, go home. So somebody's going to have to explain this to me very clearly when I get back. Let me stop lowering behind my glasses. Someone's going to have to explain this to me at length, because I don't want to okay, I showed up and there were, I wasn't scheduled. I don't want to not show up and be scheduled and get in trouble. That's a 12-hour shift. I don't like playing games with people like that, or having them think I'm playing games with them. And I don't want to look like an ignoramus, Don't you know your work schedule? Yeah, this is brand new. What hours? Okay, so that means 6, 7, 8, 9. It's almost 9 o'clock where you are. I tried to hurry my hiney up to get in here early, because I know some of you've got to go to work tomorrow, and you don't need to be looking at my face. 9:51 at Atlanta. Yeah, jobs are a trip. You're right about that, honey. Now let's see. Let's put some light on the subject. Turn that on. Well, it's not messy in here, so let's see. Where shall I place you? I think I better slide the microwave over so you can see. It's breakfast for dinner, my friends. Grandma's gonna make some pancakes. Yes, I am. I'm hungry. Hope you don't mind. Let's see. I think I have some Bisquick mix. So if y'all don't mind. Child. This is stuff's just dropping. Ignore the noise. This, I don't know what you call this in my life. It's like I'm acting like you are physically here. So it's like, okay, y'all sit down. Let's make some pancakes. Here's my itty bitty little stove. I'm very grateful. Yes, we're gonna do some pancakes because I gotta eat a little something. And I listen to you. One of you, I'll just have a little sandwich and I'll be good for 12 hours. But yeah, let's do some pancakes and I want to show you. I got this thingamabobber. Someone actually got rid of this, if you can believe it. It's got a big surface. I do have the big square thing, but that's not necessary. When I had my family here, I would use this thing. I'm sorry for the noise, kids. I would use Bahama Mama. We got this at Walmart. My son got this for me. I've always, this is going to seem kind of silly. You always wanted something, I've always wanted one. And I finally, the littlest things, have you ever had the littlest things excite you? Something like this makes me very happy. So I would love it, to make all the pancakes at once, 3 adults and 2 babies. I love that. I just put the 2 burners on, But yeah. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can do this right quick. I think we'll be all right. Let me just 1 second. Let's see. Can we do it? Do we have the ingredients? Let's see. Let's check the expiration on the milk. Believe it or not, I got this. Okay. Well, milk is good about a week after the expiration date, so I think I'm going to live. Let's see. I haven't used a bit. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, we need your Bisquick mix, your milk, your vegetable oil, and your egg. I think we got it. Hold on. Please tell me I have it in. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. So I'm going to have to reduce that down. Let's turn this thing on. Y'all probably think I'm crazy. Okay, and the oil is over here. Yeah, I finished up the last of that pasta. I just, one meal after the other. But yeah, if I don't want to drop you. Okay. Kind of like that. Pull that up. Okay, so we gotta reduce this by half. You know what? I'm bad. Ever do guesstimates? Ever do a guesstimate when you're cooking? I'm bad like that. Get our fancy Dan Imperial margarine. I know margarine's not good, but oh well. Y'all yell at me tomorrow about the margarine, okay? Don't yell at me now. So let's get some margarine in here. Let's get this crack-a-lackin', as I used to like to say. Oh yeah. Where is that thing? Where did I put her? Oh, we're taking it old school. Yeah, that's the last thing I have to get is an electric beater. Believe it or not, I absolutely love this thing. You see how old this thing is? I mean, it's the real deal McCoy. I got this thing for 10 cents at a garage. 10 cents. Remember the old school garage sales where you can get something for a dime? Remember that? Remember that, girls? Yeah, I love this thing. And I think the reason why I love these things, it reminds me of my childhood coming up. There was my mother wasn't sitting with an electric mixer. It was either a big spoon in her hand or something just like that. Do y'all remember that? Turn that on. Yeah, gotta melt that margarine around. But yeah, can you believe it? I'm making pancakes on a pan someone threw away, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix it with a mixer that was 10 cents. How about it? Now, meanwhile, somewhere across the world, someone's doing exactly what I'm doing, and brrr, they got their electric thing, brrr, and they got all their stuff, but we're both accomplishing the same thing. We're accomplishing the same thing. Never despise humble beginnings. Never despise humble beginnings, my friends. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna guesstimate. I think I'm pretty good at guesstimating. So we're gonna put some in here. Dude, it's kind of like a rocky road right there. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna guesstimate. I'm gonna run a fork through that or something. Okay, let's put this away. Yeah, I said to myself, you know, I think about, you know, after I'm done with the live stream, I think about it a little bit. And I think about y'all, right? And I think these people must think I'm crazy. I keep coming on live. They must think I'm a nut job. But the fact of the matter is, may I be confessional? I really need you. I really, really do. I really do. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do is just go ahead and break up the clumps of this kind of lumpy bumpy. I'm just raindrops on roses. You know what, raindrops on roses? Hold on a second. I wonder if I can do this. I've always wanted to do this for you. Oh, what's her name? Hold on. I hope I can find this for you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm going to try something. If this fails, it fails. I just hope it doesn't mess up my whatchamacallit. I don't know if you can even hear that. Let's see. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
Can you hear that? It may not be able to do it. These are a few of my favorite things. Probably gonna get a copyright strike. Oh well. I can't sing. When I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things. Songs. There you go. Oh, I love her. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. Yeah, you can play copyrighted music for 10 seconds. I think for about 10 seconds, or lower the volume and sing with it. Granny's probably going to get in trouble with that. The YouTube police will be sniffing me out. Anyway, I've added the egg. Mary Poppins. I know. The old school musicals. And I'll tell you what, I'll just tell you, when I'm feeling kind of sad and depressed, and quite frankly, sometimes I'll just tell you, I get out of the shower, you know, I shower off, you're all by yours, ain't nobody there, you're, you know, and you just sort of looking in the mirror. I just like, oh my gosh, who in the world is gonna want this? You know what I mean? You ever have those silent girl talks to yourself that you tell nobody about? Who in the world is gonna want this? Lord, are you gonna send me a man in my 70s? I guess I'm gonna have to, if I'm 70, if I'm 58 and look like this, what in the world am I going to look like if you let me live till 70? I'm going to have to get a man that's about 110 years old to think he's got a young, you know, a young spring chicken. Yeah, I'm 100, but I got me a spring chicken 70-year-old girl right over here. These are some of the ridiculous conversations I have in my mind. Oh, hold on. Let me see. You know, oh my gosh. I do. Sometimes you have these stupid conversations. Here's the bad part. When you start answering yourself in a different voice, then it's time to get strapped with that special jacket that buttons in the back. What did you say? I don't know. You know, you start doing that. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness gracious. But yeah, I was oh, what I was gonna say is when I'm feeling kind of poo-poo, I will watch those kinds of movies. I will listen to that kind of music. And it just takes you, it just, oh, yeah, hold on, be able to see that. And here we go. And she works pretty good. She works pretty good, I'm telling you. Maybe I can get rid of that. Maybe I can get rid of that right there. You think it'll work? I gotta crank harder. maybe by the time I'm done mixing, I'll have I'll have arms of steel. But yeah, we're taking it old school, my friends. Yeah, I took the pan off so it wouldn't burn. And there you have it. Gotta have something. One of these days, I'm gonna have this all fancy for you. You can see this wide, like this. So, old Granny's off her rocker. Oh, princess. Thank you, Chinny Daniels. Oklahoma, always. Yeah, sometimes I do it. I'll mix by hand, but I had to show you that old school beater. That was so cool. Have you ever seen? They even have the old school it's an apple core. You put the apple in the middle. There's like two little tines or whatever, and you put it in there. You put the apple and you set it down on the thing, and then you turn it, and then about that wide of the skin. Right? It starts at the bottom and you turn that thing around and you can take all the skin. Thank you, Love Cats. Yes, the peeler, the old school, you know, when do we get to the place where what the things that we used to do, they call it old school. I'm saying old school, but in my head, I'm thinking it's completely normal. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes, let me tell you something. If your electricity goes off and you've got everything electric, guess what? If you don't have something battery operated, let's say your power goes out for a day or two. Do you have charcoal and a grill in the back to cook with? Do you have a way to cook that isn't plug this in and plug that in? Do you have a way to cool your food? You know, that's the kind of thing that I talked about in videos years. I can actually say years ago. Are you ready for that kind of thing? All of a sudden, you know, the power grid is, everything's connected. It's all weird. You look at the map, you type in power grid sometime in Google. You look at the power grid and how you think, oh, California or Indiana, whatever state you want to say, right? They lost power. And you say, thank goodness, California's without power, but I'm in Idaho. But sometimes I think about things like that. My first thought is getting over to Tim, where I know he's got stuff, if you're all understanding me. There you have your mix. And I want you to be, you can see that. You can see that. I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk so loud. But I get very, you start to think about these kinds of things. So I guess that's the way, if you will. I know some of you know all about it, and I know some of you are prepared for the what if moments. I know you are. You gotta have a, and here's the scary part. Summertime is one thing where it's really cold, right? Summertime is one thing, but what about wintertime when it's yes, summertime it's hot, and you can just say, well, I can cool myself off, whatever, right? But wintertime it's cold. And so I start to think back, to the way the Mennonite people there in Pennsylvania, the ones that work without electricity. I think they hear of a power outage, they just kind of look back and go, well, and they sit back and smile. They have no concerns if they're truly living without doing everything, the way they did it in the 18s. And some of them are. A lot of them are. Forgive me, I'm kind of ignorant about that whole lifestyle. I did watch a few videos. I find them very fascinating. I do find them fascinating. We gotta crank this up. Now I made them a little bit on the thin side on purpose. Wish I had some strawberries to throw on top, but we'll just do the do. You're in Pennsylvania, B. Marie? Then you must know a lot about that. Mennonites and Amish. Thank you, LB. The website above sells products to be used without electricity. Lamps, lanterns, appliances like stoves and washing machines. That's awesome. That's awesome. I think about it, and I talk to Timmy about this thing. He's got a lot of stuff. He even has the ginormous tank to put gas in. And let's just say them being country folk, they are armed and ready. If you're understanding me, that's just how they are. His father, he's 80. He's just from the old way of protect your home, protect your wife, protect your family, So their setup is where from every angle you can see if someone is coming onto your property. They got it set up in such a way. I think that they thought it through quite well years ago, Here's what I was trying to tell you about the stove. You see how some of them are bubbling kind of in the middle, and then around the edge it's a little bit more on the raw side. That's the thing that I don't like about electric stoves, where you're kind of taking your pan and moving it around to where the heat is, But yeah, that old school way of cooking, like you say, you say to yourself, okay, I have to have a way to store my food. I gotta have a way to cook my food. If it's cold, I gotta have a way to keep warm. That kind of thing, And when the electricity is out and stuff like that, you have to think about your safety. Just in case there's, let's be real, one or two nut jobs is just sort of driving around looking for an opportunity to do something rather naughty. So yeah, all these different thoughts in your head, And we don't like to think about the negative, but I think it would behoove us, I think it would be unwise not to just be careful. I hope I'm not burning these things. Oh, we made it under the limit. Can we do it? Okay. Okay, successful flip. Yay. Okay, let's try flip number 2. All right. Now for the big one. Hold on. And let that little bit of margarine slide under where the pancake was. Okay, here we go. Can we? Oh, we have success. Oh my goodness, I just won the Pancake Olympics. What I wanted to do, right quick. We're going to turn the rear on. But yeah. Now, let me see something. Yeah. See, what I like to do is it's just about ready, so I'll turn off the burner, if you will. It's still hot, so it's still cooking, so I just turn the burner off at the tail end of that. And then I want to turn that one on and drop a pat of butter in there, a pat of margarine in there. But yeah. My mind, I'll tell you, I think part of the reason why I think so crazy is menopausal, I'm telling you. But I think I need to learn something like this. Make the best out of the situation. Don't be like a ping pong ball. Oh, I think I want to go do this. Oh, I think I want to go do that. Oh, no, just like you said earlier, stand still. A standstill. He already knows. Stand still. I just want to cook up a couple of scrambled right quick. Gotta have the adorable. And a little bit of pepper. Just a little bit there. And a little shake of salt. There's something so soothing about cooking, isn't there? There's something so soothing about it. Dutch and Polish foods are so good. Like, oh, I love pierogies. Are you kidding me? I love pierogies. Sometimes I'll have the pierogies with just a little margarine. I know it sounds goofy. A little margarine, a little bit of grated cheese and pepper, and that's it. You know you know, it's, to me, a pierogi is like a comfort food. You know, you've got pasta and potato together. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. That, or you can have them any kind of way. You can have them with Alfredo sauce. You can have them with regular red sauce, spaghetti sauce. You know, and you can also have them with your pesto, with a pesto. I'm telling you, I used to love getting off of work in the morning. Believe it, in the morning time, and I basically put the water in. I put the pierogies in, and when they start to float to the top and the water is bubbling, I know they're ready. At least to the way that I like them. Oh, I love pierogies. I don't discriminate when it comes to food. I love all kinds of food, and I'll try just about. I'd have to be desperate in the woods to eat chocolate covered grasshoppers, but I suppose if I was hungry enough, I'd eat them if there was nothing else. Oh, wait a minute, I got to splash of water. But basically, I just want to put them bad boys in there. Breakfast for dinner, my friends. I had no idea that I was going to do this until my stomach said, feed me. But yeah. And I think I have a piece of There we go. We still have, I got a slice of Munster cheese. I have the yellow cheese, but I just feel like I just want Munster. If I can open it. The tattoo? Yeah. I never had tattoos. You want to hear this? I'm going to drop some cheese in the middle. I didn't get tattoos until I think my early 40s. Can you believe that? Or maybe late 30s. They look weird because underneath, pardon me, got the name of people on my arm. This is a rose, and underneath that rose is a person's name. Never put a person of the opposite sex's name on your body unless they're your grandchild or your parent. And then on my back, you may have seen the musical note on my back. And you see how that heart looks weird? It's dark. The reason why it's dark in the middle because there's a man's name under there. Oh yeah. I told you I've been down. I went on to the I drove down the idiot highway. I drove down willingly down the idiot highway and took almost every exit. I love you. I love you so much. Let's put each other's names on our bodies. Oh, we're going to be together forever. Well, I love you so much, John. John, I'll put your name. Oh, sure. Hey, babe, want to get a tattoo? Sure, I love you. I love you. Now, somewhere in Texas, somewhere in the great state of Texas, there is a man named John, and he's got this tattoo on his arm. Yep. No, I'll just tell you. Anyway, I just about made a mess of my eggs, but I don't care. Just here's my eggs, cheesy eggs, if you will. I'll scrape all that goodness in there. Oh, thank you, Father, for another night off. Thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. Heavenly Father, thank you for the food that you have given me. I pray that you give it to my body for its nourishment. In the name of Jesus, I do pray. Amen. But yeah, I have done, I can't even count. I have done so many stupid things in what I call in the name of love, if you will. I've done so many stupid things. Off. Okay, everything's turned off. Yeah, I have to actually announce it to myself so I don't forget. But anyways, I've done so many stupid things, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when you're young, and you know you're told that you're ugly. You know, somebody my sister, calls you pig. Hey pig, hi pig, going to school pig, hey pig, you hear that. That's just how it was. Not forever, but for a while. And you're hearing all these different descriptions. Someone is trying to put their description of you, they're trying to sear that into you. They're trying to sear that into you. And pretty soon, my mother used to pull me to the side. Oh, Lynn, don't listen to her. Shut up. Leave her alone. Shut up. My mother would get on her. And here, oh, you got to see the pouring here. Of course, we have to drown it in syrup, right? Got to lift the pancake up. We can't discriminate against any particular pancake. I like to go around the edge, come into the middle. I'm really bad. You ever poke holes in your pancake so that the syrup will drizzle into the middle? So when you take a bite, you taste pancake. My mouth is watering talking. You take a bite of pancake and you taste a little bit of butter and you taste a little bit of syrup all at the same time. Pardon me for licking my finger. But there you have this lovely meal that should be on the cover of Food Digest. Now the question is, can I carry you? And I believe I can. Hold on. You're more important. But anyways, equal opportunity. We don't discriminate. So anyways, you hear all these names. You're being called names, and maybe in school someone's bullying you and calling you all kinds of names. The minute that they rhyme your name with a statement, your name is this, you're ugly, you're fat, you're this, you're that. And then after a while, you start to take that into... Don't mind me. That was just my cup. It's okay. You start hearing all these names. You start taking them in. Finally, turn this thing off. It's annoying. There we go. And so you're just desperate for somebody to tell you you're pretty. You are desperate for somebody to tell you that you matter. You're so desperate to be accepted by somebody that you end up in a relationship for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, I don't know. Children can be very cruel. We don't raise our children to go make fun of other children. Then we go into shock if it happens to be our child that's bothering somebody, Well, pardon me for eating. Let's give it a shot. All right. I've got to plan this better. So that we can all have a plate of food and sit down and be eating and chatting at the same time. Okay, I'm doing all right. You have dyslexia? Yeah, I have a friend of mine that has dyslexia, honey. It's very difficult, but of course can be overcome. No, that was my glass. It fell onto the carpet. There was a little bit of the blue drink in it. It fell onto the carpet, but I'm not worried about it. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. Was somebody B. Marie graduated? Oh, I gotta back up the chat. I didn't see. Hold on. I didn't see where you said that. Yes, often raindrops on roses. Often it is hard to remember that we are children of the King. Hold on. Hold on, I gotta go back. I apologize, y'all. Just cooking and running my mouth. Hi, Gilded Splinter. Hi, Connie. I'll try to make sure to acknowledge everybody. Okay, let me go back down. Press on the blue. Press on this. There we are. B. Marie, you graduated? Hey, Gilded Splinter. Of course, the cat's looking at me. Look, you know doggone well you do not like pancakes and you do not eat eggs. Basically, she wants me to put a little Oh, oh, she graduated in May. Hold on now. Congratulations. Hold on. Oh, congratulations, honey. You made it. We are all so very proud of you. Yeah, I'm going to clap again. Congratulations, honey. All of us are very proud of you. My kid, are you talking about my kitty? Yes. Oh, she made it through. It's tough. I'm telling you, going from grade school, excuse me. Oh, going from grade school to high school. Oh, that's really rough. Because here you are. Just trying to move some of the stuff to the side. The way I'm going, I don't want to break anything. Try to make sure when I swing my chair back and forth. I'm trying to remember back in high school. For me, it was 1843. No, I think I graduated in 1977. But anyways, it's not about me. It's about you, Miss Marie. We're very, very proud of you. Pardon me while I eat. I'm sorry. But yeah, it can't be. Yeah. What I was gonna say is you go to school. You know, like when you're in high school, especially when you're a freshman, and you know you want to make friends. You're kind of looking around, and maybe you luck out. One or two of the girls will sit with you, or even some of the guys will sit with you, and you get in conversation. Or maybe you're blessed to have people from grade school come over and they end up going to the same high school as you. So you carry that buddy with you. So at least when you first get in, you know you have a friend with you. I was going to say something else. The thing I never liked was gym class, was having to take a shower. I was very self-conscious. There were separate showers and they had curtains and stuff like that, but I never liked that. I just found that I just was very uncomfortable with that. I have been wanting to tell you the story. Oh, it's not a long story. Mrs. Parker. Mrs. Parker was my gym teacher. She had a daughter. A daughter went to Catholic school. Sometimes her daughter, when we were done with gym and we were done showering, Miss Parker would go in. She had a separate shower in her area for herself, the teacher. And she would go in, and then she'd come out, and she'd be getting dressed, and we'd all be getting dressed. And sometimes her daughter would show up and just sit down and wait. And then Mrs. Parker would take her home. And so, no, pardon me, I'm really hungry. I'm sitting there looking at me. You know, I don't know what dogs or cats that just sit there and look at you. Stop making me feel guilty. You have a whole dish of food in there. But I know this looks better. All right, look. I'm going to put this little piece of egg down. Here. Stop. See, if you eat that egg, it'll be a miracle. Okay, I think she's going to eat the egg. Are you going to eat it? Goodness gracious, the cat ate the egg. She's down there. I don't know if you can see her. She is down there eating a piece of egg. Oh my gosh. You surprised me. Made a liar out of mommy. I did not think you would eat that egg. Yeah. But here's the thing that, and this woman, Mrs. Parker, when she got dressed, she would have on like a two-piece suit. Pancakes. Sorry, they're kind of messy now. Pancakes, and I'm having breakfast for dinner. Pancakes and scrambled eggs with cheese in the middle. And so, you know, she was very sophisticated. She used to have her hair down like Mary Tyler Moore in a curl. She wore pearls. She wore like a two-piece suit and heels. And I remember really looking up to her as a child. Please pardon me. You want more egg? You want more egg? Here. Here you go. I love my cat. I'm giving her little pieces of egg. You can't really see her. Oh, now, you see? That's what she does. She wants to taste. She can smell it, and it's driving her crazy. So she'll eat a little bit. And then if you put another thing down, she won't take it. She just wants to taste what I'm eating. Are you going to eat that egg? But anyway, getting back to Mrs. Parker, very sophisticated lady. So, please excuse me. Me and Carmen, when I went to visit my Carmen, yeah, she is my Carmen, my sister Carmen, before I came here, she told me that Mrs. Parker had passed away. And I'm like, oh, that's really sad. You know, of course, you know, if we're in our 50s, obviously she would be in her 80s or something, right? Here's the thing that shocked me and it took me aback. She, according to my sister Carmen, she became addicted to crack. She became a crack addict. Yes. Can you believe that? I'm like, how in the world does that happen? I swear that's what my sister Carmen told me. I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. That's like telling me my cat's going to start barking or something. I was in complete. I said, are you? She goes, yes. I go, you are lying to me. So she goes, I'm telling you now. She didn't say I'm telling you now. She says, I'm telling you, or whatever, which way she put it. Isn't that? That was the most shocking thing. That's like telling me the red-haired nun that got me into my communion. I can't remember the sister's name. She was about 4 feet tall with cherry red hair. I'll never forget her as long as I live. That's like telling me that happened with her. Isn't that weird? Excuse me. She would be giving us advice, talking to us girls, you boys don't listen, about our monthly friend. She would show us the different things you use for your monthly friend, about deodorant, about keeping yourself neat and clean, you know, health advice, stuff like that. She'd get us girls together and say, hey, this, that, and the other thing. And there were genuinely some girls, it hadn't happened to them yet, and they knew eventually it would. So she said, to those of you, you know, you're going to go into womanhood and this, that, and then we'd have those discussions. And it was pretty cool. And some of the girls really listened. It's kind of like their mom wouldn't talk to them about these things, but she would gently and kindly, in a very nice, clean way, explain certain set things for girls, you know, what we needed, you know, what we had to get, what we had to use. And you know, we felt very close to her, you know, and it was a wonderful thing. Just in case, let's say you happen to have a girl there whose mom was no longer in her life or passed away. She's just with her dad and she don't know who to talk to. Mrs. Parker would talk to you. You could ask her, you could pull her to the side if you have questions, you know, and she talked to you alone away from everybody, you know. I forgot to tell you that. But then again, how would that come up in conversation unless we just happen to be going down the road talking about high school and stuff like that? I can still see her face as clear as day in that suit. Bangs curled under, her hair curled out like the 1950s. And I thought that was the weirdest thing. And then I didn't realize this was happening because I would have given this girl a black eye. But Carmen didn't tell me this until like, I don't know how many years ago. But when there was these twins, these twin girls, Doreen and Maureen. Doreen and Maureen. Pardon me. Apparently, Doreen was bullying the living you-know-what out of my sister, taking her lunch money, and petrified and bullied my sister for years, maybe a couple of years. I never knew. She never told us. Because if she told me, I'm sorry, back then, forgive me, back then I would have grabbed that girl by the throat. You understand? And I would have probably popped her on the ground in the face. That's how I used to be, forgive me. That's how I used to be. Sorry. But we're talking about an 11-year-old, 12-year-old. I'm almost 60 now. Give me a little leeway here. And she said, do you remember Doreen? And I said, you mean the twins? One of the twins? Doreen and Maureen. I said, yeah. She said, Doreen was murdered. She was murdered. I think someone was trying to rob her or something. I tell you, I lived in a very rough area. I tell you, I grew up in the housing projects. I kid you not. I had no idea that happened. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. You know, we were just talking about it. She goes, Lynn, she goes, I never did tell you this about her. I go, what's that? She goes, she used to bully the out of me in school. She terrorized me in school. Like I had no idea. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird how life just you are pie in the sky. You don't have any idea. Sometimes something is going on almost in your face and you don't know it. My sister would come home from school every day. I mean, God rest this poor woman's soul. But getting back to just talking about the bullying alone, not about this woman, just the bullying alone. I can't believe my sniffer is off. I didn't sniff that. I did not pick that out, that she was being than me. We were in different grades. I had no idea. Just to sit there, it's just horrible. I guess tonight's discussion has snowballed into the cold, harsh reality of life and what can happen. Oh, a lot of different things. A lot of different things happened in the housing projects. I'm telling you. Some people are just driven to do things, you know? And the thing that I never understood, y'all forgive me. Life can be hard. Life can be hard. And a lot, like I said yesterday, that some folks are going through something. Some folks are kind of going through something, and they are so traumatized. They've never experienced it before, and you don't know that your son or daughter is going to be bullied. Back then, we never really talked about it. We just dealt with it. Now everything's out on the table. Fat shaming, body shaming, a person is living a gay lifestyle, a transgender person, come on, let's just say it, all these different subject matter, and different people are going through different stations in life, and they're dealing with different things in life. And I don't sit back and wave my bony finger at you like I'm better. I don't do that. I choose to love each and every one of you, no matter what station you are in life, because God Almighty God is the judge and will individually deal with each and every one of us with the things that we do and how we live. Now, for some of us, we are going to live by what the Word of God says. For other of us, we are going to kind of interpret that a little bit the way we want it to be interpreted. For some of us, we don't believe in God at all. For other people, we're agnostics. We kind of believe that there's something grander than ourselves. But getting back to that other thing, the bullying thing, we never talked about all these different things. And so my mother would never say, hey, by the way, if you're bullied, you let me know and you go tell the teacher. We never talked about that. That never even came in our minds. I was always big. Nobody ever gave me a hard time. You know, they might have made fun of the way I dress and called me a few rotten names, but I just, like a duck, I let it roll off my back. Oh yeah, you're a this, or, you know, oh, you're a that. You know, they call me the Hispanic a word that isn't very nice. You know what I mean? They would call me they would just call me, let's just see, racially motivated statement, racial, you know, discriminatory bad words, you know what I mean? Because I'm, you know, it's just crazy. I just get real close like this to your face. Say it again. Say it again. Say it right now. I kind of look back. I hear somebody go, shh, 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 you know, kind of whisper it. You're at lunch and you look back and they're like 2 or 3 girls are looking at you, and I'm sitting there eating and I just turn around. Yeah, yes, I turn around. You have something to say? Yeah, say it to my face like that. I go, you can say it to my face and we can go outside and we can go talk outside. Want to go talk outside? Ain't I terrible? Yes, I did. Yeah, I probably would have got suspended from school over my sister, my shadow, my baby. To know that she was being tormented like that. I found, you know, it's kind of stupid. Here we are both in our 50s, doggone near 60 years old. She told me that and I got mad. She said, what are you getting all mad for? I said, well, I knew nothing about it. She says, oh, we were kids. She goes, oh, you just let that go. We were kids, but I still got my back up. I still got mad. Isn't that terrible? She said, Lynn, she had a horrible thing happen to her. I says, I understand that. I understand that. And I feel, you just don't know how awful I feel. You just don't know how awful I feel that her life ended like that. That is really weird. It's so weird. It seems like every time I visit, she has something to tell me that happened that's shocking to me, you know? Oh, I had if you want to call him a friend, we had a friend named, this is family. I think there were two sisters, an older brother, and a younger brother. And me and Karma were friends with, I think his nickname was TJ. That wasn't his, you know, his birth name, but we all called him TJ. And so it was very strange. I was married at the time to Alan's father, and we were visiting. And so TJ came over. Hey, I go, hey, TJ, hey, how you doing? Girl, come on. Girl, what's up with you? Oh, yeah. Oh, just talking. Just talking, you know. You want to talk about, I don't even know how to say this. It was very strange. It was very evil. Sometimes people in your childhood when you're young, they're a certain set way. You're all kids, maybe into young to 13 or something. You're all kids together. You all know each other, you know. But people can change when they get older, you know. Or maybe they were always a certain set way. It's a little seed within them. But you never, like I call it, you kind of sniff it out. Sorry, that's not very sophisticated saying sniff it out, but it's the only goofy term that pops in my head at the moment. So I said, hey, Al, this is my husband, Al. Al, this is TJ. Hey, man, hey, what's up, man? What's up? They're sitting there and they're talking. So I step out. He's in there. Him and Al are talking. And so, I don't know if me and Al were going out to lunch or something like that, And he said, I got to tell you something. He says, you might want to talk to Carmen about this guy. And I really, you might want to talk to him about this guy. He said we were talking, and he was talking about how he would he knows all these private, quiet places to go to be romantic with a woman. And then he says to be romantic with a woman, and if you want to force her to do something to that effect. And I'm like, I'm telling you, my life is a YouTube video. These words are the truth. He goes, you want to pull your sister aside and have a talk with her. Pull your sister aside and have a talk with her. And don't let. He said it in a certain set way. Don't let that person. And I'm just sitting there like this. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? I'm sorry to talk about something so disturbing, but life, man, life. You just don't know. Like, who is this? We used to play together as children, but like I said, people are just people. People get older. I don't know what happens in a person's head. I don't know that means that person did something like that. But why would you say something like that? Isn't that something? Sorry to get so loud. Pop him in the face. Anyways, I digress. Let's get off that subject matter. Yeah. That's that didn't scare me at all. It made me very angry. I was like, what had happened? You're a man now. What happened to you? What is wrong with you? I talked to her. We had a talk, and it was fine. She understood quite well. She was like this too. She said, "What the?" We did not tell my mother. We did not tell my mother. Why didn't we tell my mother? Hi, Audrey Fikes. Because I'll give. Let's roll back. Remember when I told you about my teeth, how I fainted and knocked them out and everything, and my face was all jacked up, all bruised up, right? So I had to go to get my stitches out. I didn't tell you this part of the story. Yes, LB. Yes, LB. Hi, Connie. Yeah, people are crazy. A lot of the time, when a woman is sexually assaulted, it's someone that she knows. And men, this is a thing that people don't want to talk about. Men get sexually assaulted as well. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And we're, of course, we think about women. Yeah, that's natural. We're going to think about a woman, but men do as well. But I want to go. We can come back to that. But why wouldn't I tell my mother about TJ? I'm sure Carmen with her blabby mouth did. I didn't feel my mother had anything to worry about. I was worried about my sister. You see. But oh yeah. So I had to have my stitches out. I did not tell my mother that I had that accident, that I was in an ambulance, because she would have lost her mind. She would have thought that Al popped me in the face. Yes, she would have. I'm telling you now. I just kept it quiet. I went in. I had my face shrunk back down. I had, my teeth back up there initially, so on and so forth. But I had to get my stitches out. And remember when I told you my sister worked in the hospital? Well, yeah, she worked in that hospital where I went. So I go in and I'm looking around. I don't want Daisy to see me because I know Ling's here. She's got stitches like that, She would have like this. So I kind of look around. And then I'm in this area. I've got to fill out some paperwork. I'm done. They take the stitches out. My lip's still just a little bit puffed, but I'm looking kind of okay. It's coming back together. And so I'm looking around, and I think I got out of there clean. My sister didn't see me. I get home. Within about 2 hours at my West Haven, Connecticut apartment. Here's my mother. Here's my sister's husband. Here's my sister. Here's my niece. Here's oh yeah, that's a long story. My ex-husband, true. And here's here's this big group of people at my door. My mother's standing in front. She's got her little clutch purse. She had this little clutch purse, little black clutch purse. And my niece Shamel was about 6 or 7 years old, I think. She was young. She was a kid. And so she goes, she just pretty much invited. She just come forward, just bullying her way. I'm like, Ma, hey, what's going on? She says, what happened to your lip? What happened to your mouth? Did he hit you? Did he hit you? Oh, I'm telling you, my mother just went nuts. This is why you can't tell her everything. You couldn't tell her everything. And Al's looking at me. He's mad. I'm in the middle. And so Al goes, you better tell the truth now. I don't like somebody accusing me. Y'all pretty much know how this went. And then this is what got Al and got me angry. It got both of us angry. My niece Shamel chimes up, Grandma's got a knife in her purse. My mother had a steak knife in her purse. I kid you not. Yep. She was about 5 feet tall, but when she kind of thought something and believed it, I mean, she thought someone was hurting one of her kids. She was like that. I'm sorry to say that, but that's how she was. I think because of all the abuse that she suffered, when she was young, she said, no one's going to touch one of my girls. No one's going to touch my son. That kind of mentality, Yep. She was here, Shamel. Shamel Renee. Oh, she was a little tattletale. She'd tell everything. Grandma, everything kind of came to a silence. I explained to her that I fainted. I go, you can look at the ambulance records and everything. I was by myself. I was downtown trying to bring him something to eat, and I said, you need to calm down. He didn't do anything. You better tell your mama I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't hit her. I would never lay hands on her. I would never lay hands on a woman. I'm like, oh. I can laugh about it now, but in the middle of it, I was sweating bullets. She found out that Mr. Al toked, and she after that, I don't know what it was about that. It was weird. She was fine with him until she found that out. It makes you lazy. You smoking that marijuana. It making you lazy. She had this thought in her head how things were. And sometimes you could not change her mind. She had this perception, That's what she, What is toke? Toking, toking, smoking marijuana, taking a toke, taking a puff. That reefer. Yeah, Al used to smoke it. He used to sell it. Oh my gosh, there's all kinds of crazy. Can you imagine someone being in the Coast Guard and selling it right there on the base? Oh, here come all these military boys coming over to get some. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Telling you, my life has been very interesting. I've seen from the kind of the what somebody would call the low end of things to kind of the high end of things. Like, it's kind of weird. My life has been like that, just like that. But yeah, my niece Shamel Renee, Grandma's got a knife in her purse, all creepy like. You nothing but the tattling police. You need to be quiet, But I'm glad she said something. I was kind of warned. I looked down, and you could see, and there was a blade. The blade, it was like it was a serrated blade. The blade was about that long. It fit diagonally the length of her little purse. Trying to be slick. Well, I can't bring a butcher knife. Well, this is all I can fit in my purse. I wish I should have brought my big purse. Oh my gosh, my life is insanity. And now here I am pouring pancake batter on YouTube at almost 60. Isn't that weird how life can be? Oh yeah, we grew up in the housing projects, where drugs, teenage pregnancy, welfare, fights. Toward the very end were shootings. That's when guns started to come into poor areas, where affordable guns started coming in. And the thing that used to break my heart about it, it's all bad, is poor people abusing poor people. We're all in the same boat here. We're trying to go to college. We're trying to go to a trade school. We're trying to get out of here. We're trying to better ourselves. And we should be trying to help one another instead of people victimizing one another. But sometimes you had people from the outside come in and they would rob people and stuff like that. You would go out early in the morning after the sun rose. You would go out in the morning and go grocery shopping and take care of everything. Toward the end, you did not want to go out at night. You did not, unless you had a boyfriend coming to pick you up at the door, and he's got his car downstairs. I'm going to go on a date. He's going to come to the door and get me, and then we're going to get in the car and go to a little club or something like that. But you did not, as a female, you did not walk around there at night. No. But that's just how it was. That just happened to be, what I was raised around. When I was young, when we were little kids, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It was different. But once affordable drugs, I'm telling you, once affordable drugs, trying to climb on me, once affordable drugs come into the picture, things just took a 180 turn. Why are you gonna, I'm sitting here getting some food stamps. I'm trying to work this little job. I'm trying to do this and that. You know me. You know my mother and my family. And what we're gonna go off to the store and come back and find our door kicked in and the stereo gone. You know me. What is wrong with you? We're all poor. What is wrong with you? What are you going to get? $3 for that raggedy little stereo? What is wrong with you? I think when everyone's down in the trenches together, it's kind of like, I think like this. Here's a stupid example. Let's say there's 5 of us. We're all in the same boat, but you got some rice. I got some chicken. You got some biscuits. Sister over there's got some plates. Other sister's got some cups. Somebody else has got some Kool-Aid or soda. You know, such and so's got her kitchen available. We're going to go in there. We're going to take all the stuff we got as a group, and we're all going to eat good. We're all going to eat good. And then we're going to give you, make enough and have leftovers. And you're going to have lunch and supper for the next night. That's how I think, you know. That's how I think. You know, you need something, I need something. You need to borrow 20 this week, I got 20 next week. You need some of this, you need some of that. I just got a little raggedy car. You need a ride? You know, like that. You're just trying to get up and out of there. Okay, I'm done preaching. But yeah, why are you going to kick somebody in the face when they're already bowed down to the ground? Why are you going to do that? You know. I missed the South. I'm sorry, let me get this correct. CJ Mendoza 804 asked, why did you mention that you missed the South? Just curious. Just the difference in the little bits and pieces of the people that I've run into here. It's not like the South. It's not as friendly as the South. You know, if you mention the father, sometimes people look at you like you're stupid or like you're crazy or something, or like, oh, I understand, but you know, it's kind of like it's like a little secret or something. It's like Jesus is a little secret. We just don't talk out loud about that, like that. I'm just not used to that. And maybe I just became spoiled like a baby or something. I don't know. You know, I know there's no way right at this moment that I could pick up, I'd have to have a job over there and all that. So right here I stay. And like one of I can't even talk. One of y'all had said, stand still. Stand still. Maybe I can help change that. Let's correct it. Maybe he wants to change that. Maybe he wants to change that, and maybe he'll use me as a tiny itty bitty little tool to do that. Maybe through my job or something, you know. Somebody just yelled, and it's kind of rare here you hear somebody yell. Miss Connie says, yes, please pray for my city, Chicago. 73 people shot last weekend, 43 in a 14-hour period, and the governor already took over 5,000 guns. This has to stop. Can I just say, I've been thinking about this for quite some time. This has been going on for a long time. You know, gangs and why? For goodness sakes, it's so disturbing. It's so heartbreaking. Now, of course, we're going to pray. These are real life human beings. You know, when we first heard the first, let's say the first school shooting. Remember the guys in the long raincoats, Cleobold or whatever his name was, right? It was very shocking, right? Well, oh my God, this is horrible. And it is horrible. It's a heinous, horrible thing. So this happens, and we're all sitting back here with our mouths hung open. We're kind of shaking, you know, we're scared. And yeah, Columbine, exactly. And so then somebody else, you hear in another state, and then you hear a drive-by shooting. And then you hear a young man, he's playing in the park with a toy gun and a cop kills him. And then you hear about all these different things. And then it gets like this. Oh, there was another shooting. Oh, well, what else is on? These are real human beings, mothers, fathers, sons. You know what I mean? This is real. People are like dying real. This is horrible. And the Father did say, and we talked about this yesterday, how in the end times it was going to get worse. People were calling peace, 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 but it was going to get worse. And all we can do is pray for the Heavenly Father to have mercy on the people of Chicago, to get that demonic thing that's in there. It's very demonic in my humble opinion. Demons have territories. Yes, they do. They have drug territories, murder territories. They're very territorial. Yes, they are. This is just my opinion. Forgive me. This is if you think I'm crazy or wrong, don't listen, and you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. But it just seems kind of weird to me. We're shooting. That just seems weird to me. So concentrated, left and right. People so angry. Kids, like 10 and 11 years old in a gang trying to kill. Life isn't important. There's no compassion. There's a coldness where if the mother is raising, let's say a mother is raising her sons and she's busy working 2 and 3 jobs, and he's feeling like he's not getting any kind of attention. So he's a latchkey kid and he comes home having to heat up some SpaghettiOs or some leftover dinner, and they're sitting there broke half the time. They're barely eking by, and here comes some people standing on the corner. Or we used to say, I'm a corner, if y'all feeling me. We used to say, I'm a corner. Somebody's standing on the corner there, and they're sitting there, and they got on some nice Nikes. They got on a nice looking watch. They're wearing the hats and everything like that, and he's kind of looking back and forth, and he doesn't have any kind of guidance. Mother is wore out, and so he's going to turn to that. In some cases, they'll turn to that. They'll welcome them in. They'll make them feel special. Got to make them feel special in the house so that what's outside of the house isn't capable of drawing them and pulling them toward them. I'm just giving a humble opinion. But the other thing, like I said, the devil's got a lot of help. The devil's got a lot of help. And I think that's what it is. Along with in the human, what I just described, but that enemy sitting up there just standing up all over town, standing up, making people angry. This is my territory, all ridiculous. Yes, love cats, this is true. Hi, Grandma Cheap Cheap. Thank you so much, Grandma Cheap Cheap. It's like, yeah, we don't, how do I say this? Yes, Lynn, gangs and other destructive groups are substitute families. You know what, LB? You put that perfectly. Did y'all hear that? LB says, yes, Lynn, gangs and other destructive groups are substitute, quote unquote, she puts in quote, families for young men without many other options. Testosterone raging and all that stuff. Exactly. We got to stay prayed up and shielded by God. Amen. And amen. And can I get another amen? But God, thank you for talking about this. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for bringing it up. Look, we can talk about anything y'all want to talk about. This is what I love about this. You can talk about whatever is on your heart, whatever has you mad. This is a non-judgmental little thing that we do. We just come in here. Something's on your heart, something's bothering you, something's troubling you, somebody needs prayer, this is, I don't know what are other words to say to describe it. I know one thing, I need y'all. I come in here and I told y'all how I was feeling earlier about, y'all know when I first turned the camera on, I probably looked like I was crazy because all that stuff was in my head and I had to just let it out. And now I feel better. Oh, yeah, Jim Carrey, yeah. I am very sorry. Miss Connie, for what is happening. I am. Now, is that talking on another subject? No disrespect about what we just talked about. She's Love Cat said, I heard about the Jim Carrey video. Is that a new video of Jim Carrey? Remember I told you I felt like seeking love and acceptance, gang recruits. Yes, Grandma Cheap Cheap, very well put. What is the Jim Carrey video about? Is that recent? Oh, but the hand signals, yeah. It's kind of like he's being tormented. Look, when you start playing around with Satan, you start messing around that Ouija board or whatever, you start messing around with that devil, you know, you say, and he's promising, making you all kinds of promises and stuff like that, right? There's a hefty price to pay. I'm preaching to the choir. You all know this. He'll turn around and just bite you in the neck. He'll turn around and choke you. You understand? You know, all he wants is you to rot in hell, and for you doing whatever it is that's wrong to bring others in. So he gets a whole kit and caboodle. He'll get a twofer. You know, two for the price of one. So when I want to try to describe this, if I can describe this correctly, when you're conflicted, the people that don't have the Holy Ghost, let's just say, you have a conscience, right? It tells you right from wrong. If you're sitting next to me and your wallet is open a little bit and there's a $5 bill hanging out, almost ready to fall on the floor, and I'm devious, I look around, maybe you go up to go to the bathroom, and I just grab that I think about grabbing the $5 bill. My conscience says that's wrong. But I don't have the moral compass of Christ, and I take your $5. Right? That little bitty bit of time where that's wrong, that little feeling of your conscience, I'm thinking I could be wrong. I'm trying to figure Carey out where I think he's kind of conflicted. He's in that club with them people. You know, we call it the naughty club, where you got to do nasty things to stay in that $10 million club. But you notice he hasn't been really doing movies and stuff like that lately. It's kind of like he's been knocked down a few notches or something. Maybe there's some new up and comings, you know. Maybe he's not playing all the games, or maybe he's not getting as much as he used to. You know, he's not getting as much as he used to, and he's being knocked down a few pegs, and now he's just sort of, wrestling within himself. He's wrestling within himself. Sometimes I think when I saw that video, maybe it's me being over hopeful that he's willing to change. I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong about that. But it's kind of like he's sitting there just outwardly doing. Let me stop doing that. I'll just go like this. I'll just wave. We'll pretend waving is the signal. You know, he's just out there doing this one, and then he's doing this one. Yeah, you know what that means. You know what that means. It's almost kind of like he's telling on him. You know, he's kind of going against the grain. He's kind of conflicted or something. Y'all probably think I'm crazy. Oh, Jim Carrey hand signals? Hollywood is very wicked. LB, you get yourself some rest. Thank you so very much. Good night, LB. Get some rest, honey. I really mean that. Get some rest. Gilded Splinter, I had no idea that his girlfriend had committed suicide. I had no idea. You know, it just makes you wonder. It makes you wonder about the suicide. Was it a genuine suicide, or was something done to her because he's disobeying the powers that be? And he's going a little loco or something. I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm completely wacko. Y'all know I'm a little bit of a nut job, but I don't want to go all the way over the edge of Wackoville, you know. But there's these two different worlds with these people, you know. What is that? The movie Eyes Wide Shut, kind of like that. Eyes Wide Shut, you know. Oh yeah, politics is like this. Okay, here's $300 to your campaign. I talked about this before. Here's $400,000 to your campaign, Mr. Senator. And then Mr. Senator gets back in. Okay, I want you to overlook that I'm putting pollutants into the water. I'm putting pollutants into the waters, and I need approval to have this big complex put up. I did this to you. Your turn. I did this to you. Your turn. Overlook the pollutants and poisons that's going to poison the community around where I'm putting this plant up. Hi, Audrey Fikes. Yes, the Anthony Bourdain. Okay, Anthony Bourdain, you're an older man. You got this younger. God rest your soul. I don't know. I don't know where he is, if you're feeling me. But here you're an older man, and you've got this younger girl, and then you see pictures of her. I think she was holding hands with or walking with a young man, and he allegedly gets all heartbroken over this. And allegedly, I was not there, and allegedly for all of this, allegedly he kills himself because of that. Excuse me. I just think that's kind of odd. But then again, you know, we don't know where the person's head is. I just think it's so strange as somebody, you know, like look at my mother. But you look at a person like that seems to have everything going for him, you know, financially secure. And from his perspective, he sees that picture, deems her to be being unfaithful. Maybe she was, it wasn't. I was not there. I don't know. But I'm just the kind of person, if I get a man in my life, we're going along, everything seems to be great. Year or two into the relationship, I turn around and come home unexpected. There's a woman in our house with him or something like that. You think I'm going to go and grab a gun or grab a knife or something like that? I may just get my camera out and take a picture. Say something smart. I got this picture. Let me stop. Sorry. I just say, get out. And then to her, get out. And then to him, get out. And go on about my business. I can't miss what I never had in the first place. Maybe because I'm an old lady now. I never had you, so I don't miss you. I never had you. Maybe I'll cry a little, feel a little insecure, or whatever. I never had you. Bye. Cup it together good. Miss America, goodbye, and let it go. Because obviously you weren't thinking about me at all. I was just a convenience for you. Maybe 2 incomes is better than 1. And you settled. I was your settle. I wasn't what you really wanted. I was your settle. Just do it. Just Miss America wave goodbye. I'm not going to jump off a building, you know. I'm not going to be on the news with special silver bracelets with my hands behind my back, you know, For what? For what? I never had you, so I don't miss you. Bye-bye. He was depressed. He lacked hope. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. I understand that. I guess because I've want to call me a cold-hearted person, but I've just been through so much with people. I've been through so much with people that for the sake of my sanity, I have to dismiss. I have to dismiss you. Because if I don't dismiss you, I will lose my mind. If I get too deep and think about it, start to get all in my feelings, I'll be a mess. I'll be crying. It'll get really deep. And then all of a sudden, here comes that demon of depression. That demon of depression is going to get a hold of my throat and pull me down. And I won't let that happen because I already seen what depression did. That's what took my mama. And I'm not going to let that thing come and take another generation. That would be me. I even have the note that my mama wrote. Yes, I do. And she talks about a few things in that note. And some of the things that she said was that she thought she was a disappointment. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? She thought she was a disappointment. Oh, I have it. Yes, I do. I don't talk about it, but I have it. That's before the last time she tried it. She actually wrote some words down. It's amazing when you get into mental illness or you get into a certain set way of thinking, and you're all alone, and you don't have anybody to bounce that off of. Like, no, is this crazy when I what do you think about this? I'm feeling like this, and you don't have someone to bounce that off of. You think it's right. You don't have anybody to say, hey, wait a minute, hold on, no, wait a minute, come here, calm down. It's gonna be all right. Go on and tell me. You can tell me everything. I won't judge you. You can tell me everything that you're feeling right now. And I'm not going to judge you. And then you can kind of calmly try to calm the person down. Try to let them go get some help. But like I said, with Mr. Bourdain, he's just kind of alone in that frame. You know, it's this weird thing, like a cloud, and you're in it. And you can't see your way out of that cloud. For some, I can't really speak for him. I can just kind of give you kind of a roundabout idea with my mother, you know, and some of the thoughts I had when I thought about doing the same thing. Yes, I did. You're not now. Yes, love cats, I'm sorry. You just wish. I am so sorry. I don't think, you know, I understand that, but I don't think this cat is on my. Let me show you something. You see that? You see that thing right there? It's like a mini oven. My thighs are starting to fry and sweat. The only good thing about it is maybe by the time she gets off my lap, maybe my thighs will be an inch thinner, you know, in diameter. Forever at my side. This is what she wants. Forever. This is what she wants. And when I'm in the bed, we will demonstrate. She wants to be like this. See? See how she's not moving? This is what she wants. What she would like is for me to go into the hospital room with her, and then we're going to surgically be connected. I love this cat. But anyways, what was I talking about? What was I running my mouth about? I'm looking for my bottle of whatchamacallem. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's weird. We always think in our mind that we're thinking about something a certain set way and that it's crazy. Like, my gosh, I'm thinking about that way. I must be nuts for being so upset about that particular thing. And then you find out, no, you're not alone. Susie and Mary and John and Harriet and whoever else, they all had those thoughts or whatever. It's just that they didn't have anybody to bounce that off of. So you alone, all unto yourself, think, you know what I mean? That's why I always say you're not alone with that. You're not. When I say, oh, I'm thinking a certain set way, I'm feeling insecure, I'm feeling this way, somebody said something to me at work, I'm feeling this way, we're not alone. Oh, that's why I want to say, roll it back to bullying. Bullying happens at work too. Bullying happens by grown adult men and women at work. Yes, it does. You'd be amazed at how people can be grown. Oh, sorry, I'm sitting there spilling water, spilling a drink. Grown adults, kind of part of my chicken. Ready? They all get together. They all get together, and they're all sitting there, and kiki ha ha kiki. And you look back and you think you're 60, you think you're 15 years old or something. I'm like, you're acting just like you're back in high school and you're 40 years old. What is wrong with you? You're 55 years old and you're acting, what is wrong with you? Sorry, y'all. Oh, I hate when people just gang up on a person. I hate that. Sorry. Or shall I say this? I dislike that a lot. Anxiety is fear. What are you afraid of? Ah, that's deep, Audrey. That's deep. That's deep. Nah. That speaks to me. That speaks to me. Anxiety is fear. What am I afraid of? What are any of us afraid of? Let me see. What would I be afraid of at just say I'm 59, it's on October. I'm not afraid of, but I want to live long enough to see my grandchildren graduate from high school. I want to live that long. And there is, I can't talk about this because it's family, right? How do you say this? You ever have things seem to be appearing to be a certain set way in families? They appear to be a certain set way, but it's a lie. Can any of you relate to what I'm saying? Everything appears to be a certain set way, but it's a damn lie. Everyone seems to be getting along like they love each other, but some of them actually don't like each other. Relatives. I'm just gonna talk in general. Okay, in general. Y'all read between the lines. Where it seems like you just get yourself to a certain set point, and here comes somebody, and you do what is necessary to do some assistance, and you're dragged back down, and then you get well again and get yourself set again, and then you're dragged back down as if that person wants you to be down. They want you to be at a certain set level and stay there because that's the way I'm used to seeing you. And if you do just a little bit better than me, then it makes me look like a loser. It makes me look like a failure. At least you can be a failure too, so I don't look as bad. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you, my life is a YouTube video. You almost want to say to somebody, do you really want me to do well? Do you always want me to be broke? Do you always want me to be behind in my bills, looking like a sad sack, trying to catch up with everything? Is that what, do you always want me to be, secondhand Rose with her secondhand clothes? Do you want me to die the way my mother did, penniless, without anything to leave for the next generation? Do you take pleasure in my misery? Read between the lines. Sometimes people steal your smile. They just commit a robbery in broad daylight. They commit a robbery, y'all. They commit a robbery. They run right up to you, and they don't even grab you by the throat and put you down a dark alley where no one can see. Right in public, they commit a crime. They walk up to you, you're smiling and joyful, and they reach out with their dirty spirit, and they snatch your smile with their statements. They snatch your smiles, putting you down. They snatch your smile by grabbing your finances and leaving you sitting there trying to figure it out. Well, I got a little news flash. I'm going to commit a crime. I'm going to go back for you. We're going to go back over there and grab your smile, snatch it back and slap it back on your face. Go back over there and take it back. You're no longer going to make me feel less than or make me feel bad about myself. That's the other thing about family. Might as well keep going to add insult to injury. That's the other thing about family. You're raised with them. They know about you. They know you. They know you. They know you back when. They know you back when. They know what you did. They know you back when. They know you back when y'all used to shoplift together. They know you back when you cheated on your boyfriend. They know you back when you did this. They know you back when. And here you are. You're not that person anymore. And you have come up in life. Let's say I don't know, you went to college or whatever, and you started a business, or you go into a cubicle every day. You are a boss somewhere or whatever. They know you win. Goodness gracious, you don't want to invite them to the company picnic because they may open their mouth. Or maybe they're always asking to borrow money because they do know that. And maybe they're kind of saying, well, you know what? If your little hoity-toity friends only knew what I knew. You'd be surprised at what people will do. That's why I sit here and live under the blood of the Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, I do. I just go in there and bathe in that blood, because he can do anything. It can be something all right here up in someone's face, and he can blind them to the fact. He'll shield you and protect you. Oh, yes, he will. See, we can get all into this human and all that, but you dial all that stuff and shove all that stuff to the side. What is it really all about? You seek him. Look to him. That's why he describes all those different circumstances in that Bible. All the different circumstances. When I read earlier about Joseph revealing himself to his brothers. Here you got some brothers that are jealous because he's favored, because he's the baby. He is the baby. He is the child of Jacob's, I think it's Jacob's old age, you know, the baby. And they're all there. Here comes that younger brother with his little multicolored coat. Oh, what we do, we're going to kill him. No, we can't kill him. Throw him in the pit. You know what? Let's sell him. That's in the Bible days. That hasn't stopped. That hasn't stopped. Am I being too wordy and too silly? And it doesn't have to be that way. When the master can come in and change my mind and change me and change all these goofy people around me, I'm constantly praying for certain set people, for God to soften their hearts, for God to, like a light bulb, explode and open their mind to see, to let them see. I want you to see what you're doing to me, you know what I mean? And I don't like doing this. I don't like doing this, but this is you. I'm turning you over. I'm turning you over to him. I'm turning you over, and I'm praying for you and praying for you. Fast a day for you, and I'm praying for you. And then I just hope y'all. Yes, learn to say no. I had to learn that the hard way. Thank you. That's right. But it was like, sometimes I love you. I love you. And you feel like you're being tormented by the persons that you love. You just because you're related to a person, it doesn't give them the right to get by with certain set things. I'm telling you. You were related. You're supposed to do this or that. I'm trying to hang some clothes outside, and I know you got 20 clothespins. You see, I only got 2. I know you got 20 clothespins. I want some of those clothespins. Gotta plug in. Let's see, where is it? Give me a moment. See, this is where, did I do that right? Yeah. This is where I sometimes I feel I go a little bit too far in my description. But I think that sometimes, I think I say what people think and won't say for fear of looking a certain set way. Oh, if I say that, I'm going to look bad. If I say that, if I describe the situation, they're going to think I'm not Christ-like. They're going to think I'm a really evil person, this, that, and the other thing. I think that people should be able to talk about the things that are hurting them and the things that are downright tormenting them in a way. It's kind of like at the very beginning with Adam and Eve. How they gave in, and then she gave some to Adam, and then they were hiding themselves, covered in aprons. And then an animal that had nothing to do with it was sacrificed, in a sense, that the animal, he got the skins of an animal to cover them. It's kind of like, excuse me, something that had nothing to do with it was sacrificed. And it kind of like Jesus Christ, he had nothing to do with what I did, thought, or where I went. Willingly gave it up for me. He willingly gave it up for you. And when you roll life to the side and all these different statements that I said to the side, different situations that we all deal with to the side, and bring the master forward and up front, and just kind of follow behind him, and try your best to love. Try your best to love. And it would bother me. It's very hard to say, but it would bother me sometimes to say I love you, but I can't stand you at the same time. Does anybody understand me? Not you. I can't stand what you're doing, but yet I love you. But I can't stand what you're doing. But I can't, you know. Good night, Miss Connie. I love you, CJ Mendoza, as well. Thank you, Gilded Splinter. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. I think I should call it a night. There's 24 people. Hi, 24 people. So if that's a little piece of what I think of being a person's life, I can only imagine that some of the people that we run across in our lives, that are in our lives, or we see other people's lives that appear to be perfect. Everything appears to be mom, dad, kids, school, soccer night, pizza night. But kind of within it, something's a little bit off or something. It just makes me think, sometimes, like I say, you're in a certain set situation and you think you're the only one, but you're not. You're not, beloved, you're not. Miss Audrey, so that when anxiety comes, it may be that your thoughts are on not being here for that. Clarify a little clearer. You never know what goes on behind closed door. True. I want to read that again, Miss Audrey. So then when anxiety comes, it may be that your thoughts are on not being here for that. Not being here for that. You give me a lot to think about. But right now, yeah. Right now, it's just, for me, it's just like tomorrow, work, come home, get cleaned up, set up, get the clothes lined up, throw them in the washer, go to work, then go to work, 2 days off, just this routine of whatever. Being able to, of course, being able to come in here and talk to y'all has been very helpful, very therapeutic. I appreciate each and every one of you, even if y'all think I'm a little bit nutto and I'm off my rocker. Then we pray your days on earth will be long and that they are peaceful days also. Thank you, Miss Audrey. Thank you, Miss Audrey. You might do something other than what you're thinking about. We sit back and think about every category. This is this job, or this is where I live, or this is this. This is, if you're in a relationship with someone, this is my relationship. And then you take each category of your life. Okay, this is unpleasant and I don't like it. Then what are you going to do about it? Lynn, what are you going to do about it? Are you able to do anything about it? If you can incrementally do something about it little by little, instead of just sitting there and harping about it, do something. Latricia, California Glow, Chrissy. Going through. You know, that's very good. That's excellent wording right there. Going through. You ever sit back and think about words? Thank you for being here today. I'm glad that we all could help you to feel better, Miss California Glow. Latricia, going through. That's very interesting. Oh, I'm going through something. I guess if we sit back and think about it as like you got these see-through curtains with it, and you can just open them like this and go through them. Perhaps going through means we get through that to the other side of it, you see. Just go through that. That right there is the family deal, the job deal, the depression deal, I feel ugly deal. Look at that. Oh, got a new wrinkle this morning. Got a new wrinkle on my neck this morning deal. Audrey Fikes, you are blessed and they know it. Joy unspeakable, full of glory. Snatch those things back exactly in the name of Jesus. Oh man, you get me right there when I read those words in the name of Jesus for the cause of Christ. Christ went through. You know, we can't even imagine. I mean, we read it all the time. Maybe even watch a movie's depiction of it. But I think the movies and what was that big movie? Mel Gibson, The Passion of the Christ, The Passion. Ooh, that's the closest I think. Oh my gosh, the crucifixion scene. Oh my gosh, complaining is a human condition that we must change. Thank you, Love Cats, for our own good. Thank you, Love Cats. You're right. I have this one person that'll text or call me. They'll text or call me, right? Yeah, Passion of the Christ. Thank you, CJ. They'll text or call me. And it's always, yep, day by day. Yes. That's me. I have to take it day to day. What was I going to say? Oh, the person will call or text or whatever. And by golly, I don't think that anything that this particular person has to say or text most of the time is not positive. It's not positive. Some people live and are comfortable in drama. Yes. She says, Miss Audrey says, yes, Latricia. Need to keep, what do you say, bringing to my remembrance. Bringing to my remembrance. I know, I heard one pastor say, not me, these aren't my words, these are his words. You're not going to get off this planet without some kind of a mark on you, so to speak. Kind of an experience or whatever it is that we go through. We aren't going to get off this planet without something having happened or a situation happened or whatever. We're human beings We're not perfect. And goodness gracious knows the enemy's world isn't perfect. All right, my blessed, wonderful friends. Thank you so very much for helping me, and you have been a huge help to me today. I am telling you right now. Hold on, I'm starting to sweat. Thank you for being so patient with me. I know I'm on here a lot, but I need lots of therapy, if you will. You know what? I think that everyone at some point or station in their life, they need somebody to listen. Thank you, love cats. Hey, Sonic, how you doing? You missed the therapy session, but probably that was probably for the best if you haven't been here this whole time. Yeah, for some goofy reason, I am supposed to be working, but I'm not working, but I think I was supposed to be here for this. Nothing's ever, y'all pardon me, I'm sweating. But I better let y'all go for now. Let me look. 9, 10, 11, 12. It's just about midnight where you are. Here it's 8:54. You don't know how badly I don't want to turn this off. But we gotta be a big girl. Come on, Lynn. You can do it. Thank you so very much for listening. I'm gonna miss y'all. And allegedly I have work tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that I do. But I hope they put that new schedule up so I know exactly what is happening. It's pretty scary to go in and find out you don't have work. It's no big deal. I mean, I have work tomorrow. And I don't know if it's going to be for 2 nights or for 3. But I just found it odd to work 2 days and then have 3 off. That was kind of weird to me. But hey, I'm not going to fight with them. It gave me the opportunity to be blessed to be in here with my friends. Each and every one of you, these are just words coming out of my mouth to say. Each and every one of you are a blessing in my life. I'm telling you now. Just to be able to come in and talk and, just to talk. Is to shed a few tears, to bounce something off of you and to get some honest answers back. And please, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You better tell me. That's what good brothers and sisters do. Lynn, I think you're exaggerating that. You need to chill, That's what the people that love one another tell each other the truth. All right. Night, night, everybody. Love y'all.